Welcome once again to KFsoft Computer Solutions. I want to show you something about an autocomplete. It's not a usual autocomplete now that we are trying to search our database, and we are getting suggestions from our database through a drop down of a text box. So whenever you type into that particular database in that particular text box, you get results dropping down, and those results come from a table in a database called shop and a table called stock. So in this particular table, this table called stock, we have a field called item. So I'll be concentrating on this field called item, whereby whenever I type a character in a form, a text box that is found in a form that we are about to design, it will be narrowing down this particular search. It will be searching this item field. So let's start and see. So I'm assuming you have your own database where you'll apply the same tactic. So let me start by designing a form called search. So this is an empty page, empty file. I'll have to save this empty file. Let me save it. I'll have to save this empty file as, I'm calling it search -form.php. So I want to create a folder in this particular server, the XAMPP server. Let me create a new folder called auto search. So I'll save my file in this particular folder called auto search. So I'll start by typing the codes. Let me type. You can type as we follow. So these are our codes. This is just an HTML tags. We start by creating an HTML tag, and we style our page. So let me style up our page. So this is how our page looks like. So this is our CSS. So down here, let me introduce the JavaScript code. So this is our JavaScript, and as you know, this is just a library. I'm referring to this jQuery library that is 3.5. So this is where our JavaScript starts. This is the script, and you find that with this script, what it is doing is just that it is taking up the characters in that particular text box as you type, and sending them to this particular file called backend search.php. So it is a process that repeats until you get what you want. So always it keeps on sending that the characters you type in the text box to the backend search.php. So this is how it looks. This is our JavaScript. Then I want to embed. Now I want to create a text box. So this is our text box, and this text box is inside this div container. So this div container has a class called search box. So you find that if you go back to our JavaScript, this search box is just a class, the name of a class that is contained inside the div. So the class is a search box, which is here. So inside this particular div, inside the div, we have a text box. We have an input that is has been encapsulated in there. So this input box is encapsulated inside the search box, which is our div, and on the key up of that particular input, it means that when you type and release the key, that it takes that character to the backend search.php, and this particular file, that is the backend search.php, goes to the database and searches for that particular character that you've typed. So next we are going to look at now the backend search.php. Let's create that backend search.php. So this is our backend search.php, and because it is connecting to the database, we have to give it a connector. We have to initiate that connection to the database. So these are the codes that you can use to connect to the database, and for this case, my database is on a local server with a user root, and this is my password, and that is my table called shop. So we are going to connect to the table called shop that is inside the database called the table called stock in the database called shop. So this is just the link to the database, whereby if the link is not working, then it stops and pops up the error. That's the MySQL connect error, and you will know the kind of errors before you continue. So I want us to continue, so we try to put the codes that will be searching our database. So from the connection, we take this variable called term, and this term is here. If you go back to search.form.php, you find that this is just a variable. This is a variable which takes up the value from the input, and the input also is a variable. So you find that this is a variable that is taking up the value of that particular text box. So this text box here, the input, this text box of the type that is the type text. You find that when you come here, the text box is found inside the div called search box, and inside the div search box we have an input box. That's the text box, which is here inside the search box. So it picks that particular character and embeds the character to a variable called term. So on this term, the variable is taken to backend search.php, which contains the value that is attached on that particular input. So you find that this SQL is responsible to go and fetch that particular value inside the database. So you find that it is searching everything that is contained, everything that is contained in that particular key app. On key app event, it searches. On key app event, so it will be repeating like that until the user is certified that he has gotten what he was searching for in that particular column. So this is how it searches the database, and if for any case that the characters you are typing are not found in the table, it will pop up this message telling you that it will echo the message called no matches found. So this is the message that will be shown to the user whenever that particular item you are trying to search is not available in the database. So this is how it works, and if you run this, you find that you'll be able to achieve this particular operation, whereby when you search, it drops down the search and you pick from the search what you want. So next time I'll be showing you on click of this particular search, it populates in other text box it searches the database for other values or for other characters or items in the database. So I'll show you on click what will happen. We can use on click to populate maybe price of that particular item in a different text box. So for now, let's call it a day, and remember to subscribe to my channel for other educational videos. Thank you.